welcome back to War in the Pacific Admirals Edition. We're here on January 5th, 1944. Continuing to see if we can, progress. Hold, please. So, I'm okay with one torpedo hitting, even if it just sends it back to base to repair. Okay, get out of there. Alright, let's see. Okay, no damage to the Escalar. Okay, good. One torpedo hits. On fire, heavy damage. That might go down. It has troops on board, so it's probably going this way. I promise you, I'm gonna, if I can remember, I know I have a tendency to forget these things. I'm gonna try to figure out how to get subs in this path, because I just want to take out some more of these transports. That'd be amazing. I don't know if this is like a whole division or what, but let's carry on. The billfish gets away unscathed. Okay, the Cerro, or if that's right, the right pronunciation. Okay, here's that task force. It might be heading to Philippines, but ooh, this is that transport that we hit, and it was staying back to probably, well, it was in the escort mode for damaged ships, and no escorts were left with it, and this should sink now with troops on board. It's probably not very many troops, but still, some. So I'm gonna, like I said, I'm gonna watch that task force. We saw it. We saw it head this way. It almost looked like it was going not just southwest, but like a little bit west-southwest. So we'll see if we can still see it. And like I said, I'll throw some subs at it. Okay. Nice. Look at this skate. Potentially. Ooh, come on. Doing some work and no escorts. Just trying to push through these sweeps. We sweep him to, make sure he doesn't trap us with with some kind of surprise cap somewhere. Ops losses out of today. This is a lot of bombers. by. Wow, 18 damaged. And I'm flying even, up at the 13,000 foot altitude. I wonder if I need to bump that up. Again, another high level bombing raid. See if we can do some damage. A little bit. One gun lost. Okay. Reconning there in Java so I can know if I can press on in some of those bases and capture them, or if I need to get some additional reinforcements first. That kind of thing. Okay, I hear a sinking sound. It's probably another one of those cargo ships up there in the okay. A lot of reports here that are distracting me. But yeah, the South China Sea, is that what it is? No, that's that vast area down Alright, we're... Okay. Yeah, as I described before, we're just bombing these troops as they try to run away. So we did get him, but it was a dud. The first shot, and then the second shot. Oh, we're gonna lose the Grunion. Man. Over an AKL. What a waste. I guess the next time one of my subs says I'm gonna elect not to attack as a result of, I don't know, because it's an AKL or even an AK, I'm probably not gonna be too upset. Because what they're saying hopefully is, you know what, it's not worth sinking over. We lost a lot here, but I'm gonna keep trying to be a pest. What I'll do is I'll stay right here, see if I can watch what he's doing, and if he moves on, we'll take that spot again. If he chases us, we'll let him come at us and spend the time, crossing in here. So, yeah, let's proceed out of this one. Alright, that's that. I don't know how much... Ooh, nice that Hungus is upgraded. Yeah, not sure if I'll have anything to talk about. We may jump right into January 6th, but I'll see if there's anything like, maybe we can talk about ship losses or whatnot. Yeah. Trying to get some troops in these spots. Yeah, why not? Let's talk about this real quick. We lost 4, he lost 7 aircraft. Sally 3, which is higher than I thought, and 1 Helen. And you can see a couple other things to ops. We lost 1 of each of these. This P-51A, I think I'm going to have to basically I'm going to turn these off escort duty until we figure out until we see some naval movement to in Bangkok to escort. I don't want to just waste aircraft just to do it. It's not my idea of a good time. Well, let's look at this real quick. So 0 pilots. That's good. All right. So this AP is showing up here. This 2-point AKL was not worth the 10-point Grunion. And I think the Grunion had sank some other stuff. So I think it was oh anyway, I hated to lose it. I don't know why, it just felt like punch in the gut. Probably because it was only for an AKL. Maybe if it had sank a valuable AP or something, I would have been a little bit better. Felt a little bit better. But we got this guy and also this one, which both, are pretty good, pretty decent vessels actually. Um, yeah. Oof. Well, since I'm here, I'll just look over here. So it's almost like it that task force that had transports in it went from this area to somewhere over here. It looked like. Um, Briefly. So if you look at that, that's kind of the trajectory toward the Philippines, Luzon. Here's the thing though. I think if I can secure a lot of this, he's going to find it hard to supply. And wherever those troops end up, if I can't get them sooner, and we don't have any good patrol right in here, which I obviously need to fix that. But see, this guy here, he's damaged. What I might do is let him go, but what I might do is just send him like maybe straight up here, or I don't know, maybe just straight north. Let him go up here for a turn and then go back for the repairs he's heading to get. Maybe we'll encounter something. I don't know. It'd be a luck. It's could be anywhere in here. Um, Probably be a stroke of luck, whatever happens. And then these subs, I'll have to figure out what's available. See if we can get something. This guy, for example, I could move to patrol this side, like over here east of Bataan Island or something. And he is right here, so he could quickly get over in this area. Be nice to nab nab some more of those transports. I don't know where he's going because the port capacity on all these is really low. He could be going straight to Manila though, but certainly I wouldn't take a whole division and drop it at one of these bases. Well, if I could help it, I mean. Unless he's coming to Naga, even that's just 2. But yeah, he might be going to Manila. But look at this. I just cannot wait. I got to get this. This is upgraded. We have some recon here. I need to start reconning Manila. Why not right now, right? Let's see, what are we going for? This is this hex here, I think. Let's just forgo that. That's 16. I don't really like that, but it'll make it, and then we'll just let him rest after that. We'll just do the one sweep, the one pass. I want to see what he has here. And then you can see it's a level, what level are we at? Only 3. Okay, so it's nowhere near ready for heavies. Because as soon as we can get heavies here, look at that, 16. So this is a perfect base to heavy bomb Manila. We're just about back to where it all began when he invaded and captured Luzon. We're about to start pushing back. Um, all right, well, okay. I didn't mean to get distracted and stuck here. So let's carry on to the 6th. Okay, we're back on January 6th, 1944. Let's get into it. I like the green in Mindanao. Well, I'd rather see more U.S. flags or, some allied flag, but what it is. Oh, shoot. Okay, so we were attacking on the surface. I thought we whiffed and that was it, but it looks like we stayed up on the surface and kept going. All right, so this is interesting. I'm excited about this. We never had subs this far south, up in here in the Strait of Malacca. Basically I have them up here in the deeper areas where I can maybe slink away from depth charges or, patrol boats. But I thought, well, let's patrol all the way down because I want to get stuff as it's coming up. And it looks like we were able to nab something unescorted at night on the surface. So yeah, that stinks predictably. But so that was kind of cool to see. But it feels like it wasn't that long ago when I sent it out on patrol, that Dutch sub. So it's very exciting to see that we made it and that that patrol worked. Hopefully, well, and hopefully there's more to come. Okay, we got a little PV here. Should sink. I'm gonna guess that this is just a patrol unit, patrol task force, and that there's no supplies on here. It's just a guess. Who knows? But yeah, that sinks. Okay, what did we see? We're gonna have to look at what's going on after the action. We'll talk about it, and maybe we'll spot what those patrol craft saw. Okay, because he periodically brings ships into Bangkok, pardon me, I've opted to basically do a daily sweep. I'll alternate between P-38 units. Now, that isn't final. I'm just saying that's what I thought about recently is maybe to rotate some sweeps in there and see if we can cause him some frustration. Say let's shoot some of these bombers down, but nothing yet. Ooh, got a Helen there. It's crazy how, watching Flak destroy one aircraft in a day is exciting. No, I'd like to see more, but without those in-aircraft, I want to say I would love, I should, this would have been an interesting statistic track all the aircraft casualties right here because we were probably damaging barely one or two air units that flew over there. Speaking of flak, um, but now that we have those Indian flak units over there, it's really causing some serious damage. So wouldn't it be kind of interesting to say, look, this is the impact this individual an aircraft unit made on the war? That'd be kind of interesting. Now, and having them over here does nothing. He's not bombing me. I do have them in key spots because he might do some kind of raid spontaneously on me. But I really more need them in China. We're making a tiny dent in these troops here. But we also cannot tell the impact we're making on his fatigue, his morale, also his supplies. I'm bombarding here again because we have even more artillery pieces and I've been bombing for a few days straight. I'd like to see if we can get, start, look at this, 6 destroyed guns. I asked my opponent jokingly, like, what kind of guns do you have there in Surabaya that's so deadly? And he actually responded. He wasn't sure that it was anything special. He indicated maybe it was just some lucky dice rolls, but I don't know. In any case, I'd like to try to get the upper hand up here. I mean, down there, and also we do have the third Australian rolling up. As soon as we get there, I'm going to say it'll be halfway there at the end of today. It'll be all the way there at the end of tomorrow. And then I'm going to do an assault. Just a deliberate attack. The 7th Australian Division is right behind them, but I'm going to keep them marching because they'll be 2 days behind. That way, if there's any kind of assault failure, we take a day break, the 7th shows up, and then we attack something. Alright, so just bombing's continuing. It's just the normal raids. And we're definitely getting into his guns. Now this is a clear hex, so that benefits our bombers significantly. Look at all these artillery pieces here bombarding, and he's got I don't know if this has any guns. This southwest, I would imagine that's just an HQ. Then he's got this medium field artillery. Yeah, maybe he's not wrong. It could just be normal field artillery, unless this southwest fleet area has some heavy guns or something. Let's look. Oh, see? Look at this. That's just, I mean, we've been putting a beating on him. This is just crazy. Well, it's subject to fog of war, but certainly will be waiting. Now I'm not going to be doing that again. We'll just bomb it another day and then assault when the 3rd gets there. Okay, let's see if we get any good reinforcements, and then we'll just start talking about the situation. That's right, the New Jersey. Yes. All right. I wanted to start here for a second. I don't have any proof. This is just I'm rolling the dice here. I'm not 100% certain how the level of the airfield impacts flights when it comes to like fighters, let's say. I believe, pardon me, I believe a medium bomber with twin engines needs a level 4 airfield to do a normal bombing run. But it can take off at a level 2, if I'm not mistaken, 2 to 3 with extended range operations. So in other words, it's not running with all the, all the load it can carry. And then, but see, these are fighters. They're not bombers, but they're twin engine. They do have some load to 3,200. So here's the thing. What I'm going to do is I'm going to sweep with these guys, and I'll probably have to do one at a time. Let's go back to the J. Well, let's look at the fatigue. Yeah, the J's look a bit slightly more rested. Let's go up here. All right, what's the seal? Because of our house rules, I gotta be in this section if I at my maximum. All right, so let's do a sweep up here at Palembang. All right, the goal here is to whittle down whatever fighters he might have over this place, and we'll test and see if it goes first. We'll keep this stood down. I am not going to send bombers because the last time I did a sweep and then sent bombers and the sweep didn't go, I lost a lot of bombers. If he puts some Georges here or something, we will lose a lot of heavies. I'd like to see how, let's just see how our fighters do, and that'll be a better test. And then we've got a fleet of heavies right here, only 4 squadrons so far, but I'm trying to also build up my fleet here, and we might rotate them and keep Palembang oil essentially useless. Um, that takes it out of our hands as well, because I'm very likely not to repair that. But we've got United States fuel is uh, and we've got fuel from other sources that we're able to use to generate our war effort. But I just don't want to. Like Japan may be willing to sneak ships in here just to, in desperation. We are a year we are early still enough to make an impact here at Palembang. If it was mid 45, I mean, by then he could have really stacked Japan with lots of fuel. And he still could, but we've made a lot of progress fast. Maybe we can start knocking this out and keeping him from being able to get all this oil. But see, I have to knock this one out as well because it's bringing oil. I could just knock out the refinery, but the problem with that is he can just take the raw oil back to Japan and refine it there. So really, I just want to knock out the oil at these two bases, and I'll look around to see where else maybe we need to destroy some oil fields. But we have certainly a starting point. And you can see here some places where there's resources, and I'd like to knock those out as well because out of desperation you can see them come over here with AKLs to pick it up. Um, and we were able to fly our first recon mission over Manila, and you can see he has a pretty sizable air force here and a lot of stuff in the port. So what I think would be very interesting is to bomb this port like a night raid. Um, but let's talk about what did we see that was like a major fleet that we're supposed to be mindful of. What was it? This one here, like send main body. I'm trying to understand where that was discovered. You can see this heroic Dutch sub down here. All right, I'm kind of jumping all over, and we haven't talked about the losses yet, but one more thing, because, well, my mind is on it. Let's look and see if there's any dots we haven't seen. Maybe something up there. All right, let's take a look here then. Well, see, that's it. Maybe whatever we discovered also snuck away in the middle of the turn. But I'm not seeing any major threat here. Even this is just possibly a transport group, or it could be like some kind of raiding party that's gonna wanna bombard somewhere. But I can't stress about things that um, I can't stress about things right now I'm not aware. I'm not aware of what their plan is, so I'm not going to counter something I don't know what's going on yet. We are done clearing all the mines in here, and these are my main concerns. He may have mined Kigayan and some of these others, maybe Zamboanga, but right now my main focus is capturing these bases in the middle. And when that's done, we can, we've got some guys uh, that are planning already invasions here, and we'll capture these when we get to it. But if I can capture these, get some air units up and running, get a sizable air force, the rest of this will just kind of start folding. So first things first, trying to finish graph. Especially this is level 4 airbase already. We've got a level 3 here, level 1 only, but that's okay. That's not going to be a main airfield anyway. Um, so yeah, um, let's do it. All right, we lost 3 total aircraft. Probably heavy flag there at Mole Mine, maybe. He also lost 3. So let's see what we got. One of each of these, except for ground. Autopsy to he must be like dropping or picking up guys frantically. Helen, one to flak, and Emily air to air. I totally missed that one. Skytrain, of course, and yeah, a couple bombers over Mole Mine. All right, did we lose any pilots? Yes, that's unfortunate. Probably both those flak things. All right, let's take a look here. We sank 9 points worth of shipping, and I don't know if anything will be on here that we sank recently. Of course, there's the Grunion. You all saw this. I believe I showed it to you last turn between the days. But one thing I wanted to talk about is this. Let's look at all dates. Okay, Allied ships, you can see, if I turn off Allied ships, this is only Japanese. You can see it includes PBs and so forth. Now, if we sort by ship type, only a couple MTBs, a bunch of sub chasers, but it's not even a page worth. And then the rest of these are PBs. Now the PBs, pardon me, they can carry a decent amount of stuff. So this is the E's, okay, fine. A ship is a ship. And it's not worth very many points, but a PB, even this little tiny 1-pointer carries something. PCs, seems like everything he uses carries some. We don't have that luxury, but and you can see like this, the 10-pointers carry 1,000. So that's that's basically the PBs I look at as light cargo ships. So sinking them is almost on par with sinking all these light cargo ships. Now they carry a little bit more, maybe some of them carry less, but these are 2-pointers and they carry a pretty decent amount. Well, here's a 1-pointer. Okay, so then the other thing is I wanted to compare that. We can see we lost quite a bit of these patrol craft ourselves. Now, of course, they don't have the same value as his um, patrol craft, but I'm really sad about all these KVs, PTs, dime a dozen, etc. We've got like a slew of them we could pull together if we needed to. But I just wanted to look at that because we sank a PB recently. I just kind of wanted to take a glance at that. Um, all right, how'd we end up way up here? Okay, let's talk about. Okay, the New Jersey just arrived, I believe, over here. Yeah, this is decent. I say decent. You got your anti-aircraft, which is solid. You've got your speed. This can go with the carriers. One thing I was thinking might be pretty amazing and impressive. I haven't looked at the gun value here. Based on the gun value, I think it might be kind of cool also to have a bombardment group centered around these heavies. I want to call them heavies, but just because they're the 9 16-inch guns. But that said, I'd like to have a battleship in each of my carrier divisions. But also that said, I may start putting, especially as I get more and more and more carriers, I may put 3 carriers in a division and then allow myself to have a few battleships left over to bombard. Of course, you still have the slow battleships that I'm certainly comfortable using to bombard. So we'll see how this plays out. Um, but also, depending on how many fast battleships we have, I could I could even have 3 carriers and 2 battleships, and 3 carriers, 1 light carrier, and 2 battleships in each of my divisions, and just really fill them up with maybe 20 to 25 ships instead of the 15 that I've been doing. Um, because I have 2 carriers, 1 light carrier, 1 battleship, a couple of cruisers, and then destroyers filling out the rest. Sometimes, most times, also a CLAA to give us a bit more anti-aircraft firepower. Although the raw AA number that it comes with is about half of a battleship's AA. So I mean it's moderate, but every little bit helps. And also, I don't only like to look at the AA number because let's look here for a second. The AA number is this 466. I'm not even sure how this number comes to be. But one thing I like to look at is these stats here: range, penetration. Of course, ammo is important, but the range, like if bombers are coming in below 4,000, then everything can hit, and that's fine. But then, of course, if you have a weak anti-aircraft gun, you could have a bunch of weak ones and have a higher number, but then you're not really getting into those bombers that are really causing you trouble. So you need to have, in my opinion, having these. Well, these 6-inch guns aren't firing at an aircraft. I mean at aircraft, but I'm just saying you want to be able to reach the aircraft as well as get into and damage them and hopefully destroy. So, and here's a 595, and you have a lot more um, firepower here with the smaller caliber stuff. Some of these 5 inches, I'm not 100% sure, might be dual purpose, and you're able to see them get into the aircraft as well. Is that what that asterisk means? Is that it's pointing at the aircraft. There's nothing that, like, no code in here that says, hey, asterisk means it's used an aircraft. But, and I promise I won't take the rest of the time doing this. Let's look up this 5-inch 38 Mark 12 OPS. And I'm going to say maybe an aircraft. That's 5-inch. Yeah, so it is an aircraft. Now it says dual purpose. So if we get into a fight with some ships, it might fire also these. um, but yeah, you can see the ceiling. So as he's flying over, even if he had like a level bomber dropping from really high, we could still shoot that all the way up there to these ceilings. So pretty cool. Okay, let's talk about the situation on the ground and at sea where it matters. I am basically constantly bringing in more troops. And you can see that we've got a few task forces dropping off some cargo, but also some troops here. Yeah, the 14th Canadian, because I'm going to send these guys up here possibly to play around in the jungle. I don't know. I may drop, I may use also fast transports to get some of this stuff. Speaking of fast transports, I've got one loading right now. Gonna, I think I sent it around this way. In fact, here it is. We're gonna capture the unoccupied Christmas Island IO because I don't want anything parked here behind me. And we're still marching. Like you can see here, we can go to combat, deliberate attack. We can go ahead and capture Kalajati. And I've got another tank unit heading up here to capture Bandung. And then we'll come up here to Buitenzorg, and then we'll have Batavia basically. I'll snag this Maroc, and then we'll have Batavia completely isolated, as we have um, Surabaya isolated. Okay, so if we look at soft, you can see, like this jungle regiment is severely damaged. The Fortunately this wasn't too badly mauled, although I thought it would be from the numbers. So we're just gonna say, you know what, everybody go back to defend. We've got reinforcements coming. The assault value here is still pretty good. And we've got a couple engineer battalion with combat engineers to dismantle the fortifications. The division itself should have combat engineers. We're missing one squad there. We've got the 3rd Australian Division on the way with some combat engineers. And yeah, that's interesting. They go away when we upgrade to the new. Okay, the new T. When we. I don't know if they actually leave when you upgrade them. They just don't get replaced when you have replacements on. So the 3rd is on its way. We have to wait 2 days. So it finally is unpacked from the train. And in 2 days it'll be here. So we'll bomb 2 days in a row, and of course a 3rd day, and we'll assault. 2 days later, the 7th should show up, and if we need to, we'll do another assault um, after we rest for a day. But moving on, you can see what's going on here. Um, and again, we're pushing, threatening Batavia, and I have other units coming. We've got the 4th Armored Brigade heading that way, and I'm not 100% sure if this is faster be, or if it's just if it's moving at infantry speed or faster than that. Um, and what else? The 6th Australian Division will head that way very shortly. Okay, to Batavia, I should clarify if that wasn't clear. And again, Davao is being invested because I want to get in. I'm heading there now. You can see a couple infantry divisions heading to Malay. We'll attack and then we'll swing up and push into Cagayan and should cause and then we can attack here, cause his troops to retreat this way, and force them into the jungle to wither there. Um, and more and more reinforcements rolling in. These tank destroyers I thought would move pretty fast, and maybe they are. We had to go up this dirt road first to get up here, and now they'll probably pick up speed and catch up fairly quickly. I'd like to catch these guys before they get up here, but I don't know that I can. This is a bad road, but he's had a head start. My infantry will be there tomorrow and we'll attack. If he's out when we get here and like, because that's a day moved in, a day to say attack, he may already be out, and that's fine. We'll just keep, but we'll keep bombing him. I don't think our bombers went today though, so he's probably cruising right along up the road. But yep, it's basically. This is a day-to-day game, so not a lot. There's not huge, massive changes that are m- that occur between turns. So that's why I'm repeating myself probably every time. Let's see. But yeah, the I need to pretty quickly already be, and I do have some guys. I actually have some guys preparing for Naga here, but I need to start looking into what do I need to do to grab some of these bases. It may just be a quick fast transport to take all these, but I don't know what kind of defenses he has up in there. I'll have to start reconning. But speaking of reconning, I'm gonna turn off the recon here is extended range, and I really don't like to overwork my recons, so I'll probably let them rest for a day. But this is good information. I'm gonna think about what I can do with that. Actually, you know what? I was talking about bombing. I don't have anything in range. Manado to Manila, that's just out of range. Yeah, I can't even get in there with the extended range. I just need to build this up 2 more levels, at least to 5, I think 6, to get my heavies in here and bomb. Um, and yeah, I'm trying to get that moving because I need to be here to get to bomb Manila. And again, at least here, if I can be even closer, that's not necessary, but it's okay. Um, all right, then let's cruise on up. We got to look at the yeah, that Dutch sub, that heroic Dutch sub. I'm the reason I call him heroic, by the way, is simply because this is like this would be extremely nerve-wracking to patrol an area where you have no to bottom out is just really not very far and easily get found and wiped out. I also am hoping to use this sub as well as other subs patrolling down here to deter like other task forces coming in here, not only cargo or other types. All right, we are getting closer to the time when we're gonna pull the trigger on mole mine assault, shock attack across that river. You could see here we've added 3 more armored units, giving us a lot more vehicles. We've got 131,000 troops here now. We've got another division coming. Um, and let's see. The 7th is um, we we're so depleted here. You can see here we need quite a bit more uh, firepower put into here that I don't know that I want to wait for this to fill out to go in. So I had a couple thoughts. One, they could stay here while everyone crosses. But the other thing I thought of is everybody crosses, and anything that's just completely wiped out that from this assault can withdraw to rebuild right here. Um, so I might just think about it that way. And we do have a number advantage to him, and we are bombing him daily, seemingly to no effect because especially his anti-aircraft is still strong. But his ground units may be, defeatable. We'll see. Or at least if we fatigue him enough, maybe we cross and don't take too many casualties. All right. But pretty much that's about it here. You can see our supply situation is still fine. We're hanging in there. I feel like as soon as we take Mole Mine, we can start doing more because really that just kind of opens up like all sorts of options. I feel like we could start really putting pressure on Port Blair. But Port Blair might just look like this the whole rest of the scenario, and that's fine with me. I don't, as long as we're keeping him from basing aircraft here, I think that's fine. And um, yeah, we got a lot of shipping going on here now. So. But this is bringing in the 20th, so let's dock that and unload, get the 20th into action as soon as possible. Yeah, it's not unloaded yet. Okay, moving out of China, I started thinking about like these troops, these 43 troops, how to use them, and I'm starting to think maybe instead of bringing them here just to get locked into this deadlock, I'm thinking, what if we like cross here and make a push on like Anqing with 3 corps? I mean, these guys ever bring in 3 corps, keep filling them out, and put them here. Let's say, like I said, cross this river and march on King. Force him to like remember way back when he had units. He basically controlled this area here fully and had troops right up against Changsha, and we did this flanking maneuver, took some of these bases behind him, or I don't remember the exact details, but we pushed him all the way back to the coast here, and then we ended up having to pull back a bit because we ran into extremely stiff resistance. But I'm thinking we reopen this with a push on King. This is just a small brigade. We could cross. We can hold them off. I think with this, and bring in our fresh infantry. In fact, let's see. We still need garrison here. That's fine. I could cross just to kind of make sure that we hold. Might because he might come after what we got here. But let's do that. And then we'll get these three fresh 1943 Chinese troops across the river here. And if we can capture this, we could push into some of these other bases and still hold this line. It's not like we need to pull any of these troops off the line to do this. So that's one of the reasons I like this option. Um, Man, I feel like we could I feel like we could do a push again across here as well. Um, Let me do something here. Rebuild unit, replacements, upgrade, divide unit. Um, you know what? Let's keep it rebuilt until they upgrade. I don't want to have just elements upgraded, you know. Let's do that with this one as well. And let's start with these two, and we'll go from there. We could do it with all of them, right? Because one thought I have is, let me just show you something here, and I don't want to take up the whole time talking about this. It feels like I had this talk recently, or mentioned it recently. We have 0 rifle squads available, and we have 25.99 in pool. Um, if I upgrade, I could start drawing from here and make these guys stronger. Um, so I kind of feel like maybe we should just do this with all of them. I don't know. Maybe we don't need it with this one. Because that's pretty strong as it is. This is strong. I think we're okay as they are, the rest of these. So we'll get these upgraded, and I think we can, this is 4 units only. We can make a push across this river and knock it, and it'll be a shock attack. I think it's clear, right? No, it's wooded. That's fine. I would take that. We have assault strength of 2,000. If this is 4 divisions, it could be 1,500. So, it might not be advisable. So maybe we won't do that. But um, yeah, but I wouldn't mind upgrading those still. And again, get these 3 corps pushed into here. This has this, even if it's a division, it'll be like 900 or more to 300. And yeah, I think we can pull this off. Uh, Maybe I'll bring this guy back here and bring this guy, just bring the whole core out, you know? So there you go. Yeah, I think that'll be interesting because I've got 3 fresh core. Why push them into here just to be static? We're holding the line here just fine, and he's not pushing us anywhere else. We've got a couple of spots where we're kind of static here and here and here. Um, I'm thinking about pushing down this road with these guys. I thought about that too. You know, it did cross my mind, and maybe come around to here to get up in behind these troops, just to kind of, hinder the supply a little bit. So I see something going on at Canton, but no troops. Although surely for 360 garrison, he's gonna have a division at least there. But yeah, let's do that. Let's explore a little bit and push down the road. Um, Not south. No, let's just for now take this one step at a time. We'll just go across here and then we can follow the road, hopefully. This is mixed. I think this is I don't have any reason to knock this guy back because worst case scenario, we'll push him to here, and I don't plan to push into French Indochina right now. So there's no reason to even knock this guy back. Although taking Pekoi would be okay as well. Anyway, I think that's where I'm at. There, everywhere else is there. I have no ability, I don't think, or freedom of movement, I don't think. So I think this is where I'm gonna make my moves and try to maybe make him think about where he has troops because he can't have everywhere. He can't have all these guys spread out all over and also have strength, although he does in these areas. He has pretty good strength here, but he'll have to spread them out to cover, my threat. So I think that'll be kind of a cool operation. We'll see where it takes us. It might just give us a little breathing room, and that's it. But it also might allow us to. I mean, I came close to Shanghai. I got as far as Hangzhou. I couldn't capture it. Had to pull back, and but look at that. I was this close. Oh well. Now I'm way back here, and that's fine. I'm okay with it. We could try again from the north and see. All right, thanks for joining me. I'm going to wrap that here, and we'll see you next time on January 7th, 1944. Take care, everyone. Have a good rest of your day. Bye.